Hey guys, this is Alex from 2B3D. Today I'm going to show you how to create a render like this. The render was made in Rhino with Vray and the textures are pictures cut out in Photoshop. So the first thing we're going to do is get the pictures. I got them from the Samsung homepage. Just go to products, cell phones, smartphones, and I took the Galaxy S4, and there should be a gallery where you can download the high-res images. Of course, they are copyrighted by Samsung, but for the sake of demonstration, I will use them. You can, of course, use own pictures done with a high-res camera, but it's the easiest way, so I would use them. Okay, so if you got download the pictures, we are going to need the front side and the back side. Just open them in Photoshop. So this is the back side. I'm going to open it in Photoshop. First thing we need to do is make it editable. So double click on a layer. Then I'm going to use the magic wand to cut it out. Just select the white part, press delete, Ctrl D to deselect. Now go to image and cut the transparent pixel and save it as JPEG. I'm going to name it Galaxy S4 backside. And now we're going to do the alpha channel for it. An alpha channel is basically a black and white image which gives you the black part as visible and the white part as invisible. We will need it for the V-Ray render part later. So we're just going to add saturation layer and make it black, and we're going to save it as Galaxy S4 backside alpha. And now we're going to do the same with the front side. Of course you can change the picture or something, as seen in the pictures Fabio uploaded before, so you could also do something like this. This will actually be the back side, so you see we just take the picture and use it as material. So if you want to change it, you can change it now or either later, it doesn't matter. So we're going to do the same again, double click, make it editable, magic wand and cut it out. Cut the transparent pixel, save it as Galaxy S4 front side, and make an alpha channel from it. Okay, that's it with the Photoshop part. Now we can go over to Rhino. You see I already got a layer with pic reference, so we start with bringing in the picture. I'm going to use the front side for it. You can just drag it in as a picture frame. And it doesn't matter how big you bring it in because we have to scale it now. What you need for the scale is the right dimensions, and you will find them on the Samsung page under specification. There is a picture with the right dimensions, so we have the height in 136.6 millimeters. So we're gonna use the 3D scale tool for it. To check, we can use the distance tool. Okay. Okay, this should be right. I will move this to 0.0, and now we can start with getting the shape. I will use a curve. I have a layer named curve. I will start at the middle, so I will start here, and I will try to use as less points as possible because it's easier to manipulate afterwards. So the first one will be straightforward here. Then I will press the Alt key and I will disable grid snap. If you hold the Alt key down, you will not snap anywhere, so sometimes it's easier to do that this way. Don't matter too much where you put the points because we will change them in the afterwards. Put this one here, and another one somewhere at the middle because we can mirror them down. Okay. Now I'm going to do points on, and I'm going to change them to fit. I try to be as precise as possible because texture is going to be the right size, so it needs to fit. Okay, that looks good. So I take this one, mirror it over, then I take this one again and mirror it over, mirror it down. I have to adapt it. So I mirrored it down, turn on the points and change them so they fit. Of course, we're not going to change the upper one because it already fits. So just the lower part needs to be changed. Maybe bring this one down a bit, or actually up. Just play around with the points so till you're satisfied. Okay, let's see, that looks good. Turn them off. And now we can mirror it to the right. This one should fit already. Yes. So now the curve is finished. We're gonna join them. And actually, we're going to do another layer and call this phone because now we're going to start extruding it. So go to the perspective. We're going to have a look how thick it is. Again, okay, it's 7.9 millimeters, so we're going to extrude it up 7.9 millimeters. Extrude 7.9. Change the shader to shaded to see it. So this is the basic shape of our phone. We're going to do just a few changes. We're going to bevel the edges, and we're going to put this button here, a button there, a hole down here, and that's it. And then we're going to apply textures and it should look fine. So I start by bevel the edges. It's under solid, is it fillet edge? Yes, I think one will be enough for the upper one, and I'm going to make 3 for the back side because if you watch the phone, it's more rounded on the on the back side. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to explode this, because the texture is going to be on this part and this part. We're going to put them together. So this is one. This part is, oh, okay, there are two parts. We're going to join them also. We're going to join so there should be three parts. The upper one with the edge, then the middle one, it should go all around, and the lower one. We can now turn off the peak reference because we're not going to need it anymore. So the lower one should contain this one and also the edge, because we're going to apply the edge also. So join them together. Okay, now we have three of them. So the next thing we're going to do is cut in a hole. It is a mini USB, so it should be like this one. Just draw something like this. Actually, we can draw a rectangle and chamfer the edges. So we draw a small rectangle, something about this. Maybe turn on the grid snap, it's easier. Okay, now we go on the curve, chamfer curves, and let's try it with 0.5 for both of the edges. Okay, that's too less. Let's go with 1. Okay, that looks nice. I just scale it down a bit, turn off the grid snap again, make it look more like the actual thing. So I go back in the perspective mode, turn it to see if it fits. Okay, I think it's a bit too big, make it a bit smaller. Of course it has to be in the middle. And as we can see on some of the reference pictures, I always use reference pictures, it's easier to do so. It's in the middle of the back texture and the silver thing. So it's somewhere around here. Let's have a look again. Yes. Now we're going to extrude it. And cut in a hole. I will use the split command, take this one and this one. Press. Okay, and now I've got split. So I will delete this one, and I will use the already extruded one because it fits in, and I will split this with the two faces. So split, select this one, the two faces, and it should, okay, yeah, I have to explode it first. Actually it should work. Let's try this one again. Maybe I make it a little bit bigger. Actually, I should cut it before. So let's trim this one before. Yeah. Copy it first, of course. So we have two of them. Now I trim one. Select one of these, select to surfaces. Okay, now it worked. And now we cut the surfaces with the one extrusion here. So again, split, select the surfaces first, enter, and now the extrusion, enter. Okay, now this one worked. So I will delete this one, delete this one, and there should be the hole inside, and it fits perfectly. Okay, maybe it's a bit too large, so we can make a 1D scale. Yeah, it fits better. Or we leave it this way, it doesn't matter. So there is something inside. I just used a normal box and just put this one inside. Doesn't matter because you won't see it, just that there's something inside and it's small. Okay. Another thing, what's on this side is this small hole you can see somewhere. Okay, no, you won't see it because it's in the texture, but there is a small hole. I think it's a microphone. So I will take a cylinder, actually very small, and also I'm just gonna cut it out from the surface. It's somewhere around here. It doesn't matter because it's not going to be that detailed anyway, so it's the same procedure. Copy it, so we have two of them. Split one of them. Now we split the surface. Delete both of it and it's finished. If you want to make the hole bigger, you have to do the whole procedure again, but it should fit this way. It's pretty small actually. Okay, so now we got this. Now we need the button on the side. Let's check the image, how it looks. Okay, so it's just a small button with rounded edges. We're gonna do the box for it. We're gonna use a box for it. I will go to the top view to align it properly. Somewhere around here. Go back to the perspective mode to fit the height. It's in the silver part, so okay. And now we're gonna bevel the edges. So go on the solid fillet edge. First we're gonna take this one. Maybe 3 is too much. Change the radius to 1. Okay, that will work. Maybe put it a little bit more inside because it's not that much. Again, radius, maybe make it to 0.7. A little bit less than before. Yeah, it looks better. And now we're gonna bevel the other edges with 0.3 or something. Just select all of them. It's always important to fill in the edges because in the render later there won't be any bad reflections there. Okay, that looks nice. I will bring it in a bit more because it looks too hard. Okay, that looks nice. So back to the shaded mode. What we're going to do next is, okay, the button's on the other side. Actually, you could just take this one, bring it over, copy it, rotate it, bring it in twice maybe because it's twice in there, and rotate it again. Okay, that's it for the modeling part actually. Of course you could do the whole upper thing if you want to, but the render is not going to show it, so I don't need it. So the next thing is we're going to do the materials. So open the material, create a new standard material, and we're going to name it front side. We're going to put in the diffuse. We're going to take a bitmap and take the front side. Okay, that's good. And now we're going to use a transparency map. It also works like with the bitmap, just take the bitmap and take the frontside alpha. And to test it, press preview and you see, okay, you got the picture there. What the transparency map actually does is cut the white edges off, so you just have the frontside image without the edges. And we're going to apply a reflection layer. You can see it's already really reflective, so we're going to lower this down to maybe 0.7 and 0.5 because it's just should just reflect a little bit more maybe. Okay, that's nice, and we're going to higher the subdivs to 16. This will decrease the spottiness. Okay, that's it for the front side. We can duplicate the material and call it backside. I'm going to change the diffuse to the backside, of course. And transparency to the backside transparency, backside alpha. There it is. Okay. Just a quick preview. Okay, that worked. And what we're going to need too is a material for the ground floor. We haven't yet modeled it, but we're just going to take the infinity plane. So take a standard, make it white, and put a reflective layer there. Let's call it ground floor. Should just look like this. And maybe also a black one. So do another standard material. This is just a standard way to make glossy materials. Just call it black glossy or black semi-glossy, because we're going to put this on the inside stuff that it's really black in there. So put a reflective layer on this. Okay. Maybe also lower this down on something. 0.9. Put the subdivs up to 16. Okay. Let's save the whole scene so nothing happens. It's always important to save. Okay, now we apply the materials. So this is the front side. Let's apply the front side. Apply material to selection. If you have worked on different layers for the surfaces, you can also apply material to layer, but this time I'm just using apply to selection. And to see it, we're going to the render mode. And as you can see, it will be transparent, but that's because of the alpha channel. And for the sake of demonstration, I'm going to get rid of the alpha channel for a second. Yeah, and what we see now, it is not matched, but we'll do this in a second. Okay, let's apply the backside. So get rid of the alpha channel for a second. Okay. So now it's about to make the texture mapping, and we're going to use a planar mapping for this. I'm going to explain it now. It's planar mapping is for planar surfaces. Box mapping is for boxes, or you can also use box mapping on any kind of stuff. Spherical mapping is for round things, and you will mainly use it for organic stuff. And this match mapping we're going to use for the backside. So let's do a planar mapping now. Just apply mapping, first corner, bound box is okay, enter, world is okay, UV is okay. So press 3 times spacebar and you will see it will fit right away. And to get rid of these kind of silver edges from the picture, I'm just going to make the mapping a bit bigger than it actually is. So press show mapping, then hit the shift while you make it a bit bigger. Okay, now I'm going to make the geometry bigger, show mapping, select the mapping, make it a bit bigger so you see this should fit actually. Yeah. Maybe make it a bit smaller. Don't get any weird parts. Okay, this will fit. Let's have a check on the upper side. Okay, it fits. Actually, for this example, the alpha channel is not really needed because we don't have these edges here. But if you are just trying to put a picture inside or something to change, to use as a render picture, you will need the alpha channel. Okay, now let's apply this mapping to the backside. Just use this match mapping and take the front side. And actually it looks pretty good. Okay, now we're going to have to use a different mapping method because the logo was upside down. So I used the same technique as before, just a planar surface mapping and then rotated it. And we're going to make it slightly bigger to get rid of these strange edges here. Oh, no, you can also see where this should be. So change it a bit, make it a bit bigger actually, to have the real position of it. Okay, this one worked. So let's make this a bit bigger, show mapping, select the mapping, make it bigger. Okay, that should work. So select this again and hide the mapping. It doesn't change it anymore. You can't change it anymore. And now it's about the silver material. I actually used a material I got on my computer, and it's from, if you bought Vray, you can download it from the website, but you can also download free materials from the Flying Architecture homepage. It's www.flyingarchitecture.com. So I will use metal, and I got this aluminium mat here. I think it's okay. Or take steel brushed light. That will be fine. Let's have a look how this looks. Oh, it looks fine. Okay. So take the middle part and the buttons and apply it to selection. Okay, now let's make the ground floor. Just an infinity plane, put it on the layer. And put on the material. If you make a right click on the material, you can just choose from what you have. So it's the ground floor material. And I always make named views. So if you don't have it here, it's under options, named views. And you can just go on save as perspective 1 or something, and it will be saved. So if you change your viewport and you double click it, it will be back again. Let's make a test render if everything's okay. For the V-Ray options, I didn't change anything actually. I just changed the output to get view aspect, to get the aspect I have here. Then I locked it. And if I make it bigger now, it always changes the same aspect ratio. The next thing I did is I checked if the environment was black, because if it's not black, you won't get this nice gradient of gray. And that's it. I leave everything. I'm not using a physical camera, and I'm not using any lights. So let's do a test render and see how it looks. Okay, you can see it looks pretty nice. Only thing we need to do is change the material inside because it's not black. So I'm going to take these, put the semi-glossy black, maybe change the view a little bit to see it more, and render this out again. And as you can see, there will be black on the backside, but if you render the alpha channel with it, you can cut this out. Okay, it looks pretty nice. So the last thing we need to do is, on the finished picture, I had this cable, so I'm going to show you how to do this one. Do a new layer, call it cable. And actually it's just a control point curve. So I go to the top view, take something about here because this is the point where the headphones plug in, and make something like this, maybe make it a little bit more come in. Okay, now we're going to do the points on to change it a little bit, to make it more naturally. I'm not going to model the headphones for it, so this should be somewhere outside, maybe here. Okay, that's okay. So control points off, go back to the perspective mode and see where the cable is actually coming out from. Okay, so put the points back on, select this one and move it a little bit down. Okay, and when you go back to perspective 1, we just did, you can see, okay, you don't see the end of the headphones, so there is not going to be any wrong stuff. Okay, points off again. And I'm going to offset this one. With about 0.5. And now I'm going to pipe them, and if you press record history before, you can change the control points of the curve, and you will change also the piped surface. So pipe, make it 0.3. Looks like nice cable. And to show you what I meant before, when we change the control points now of the curve, let's do it here. Points on. If you have problems getting the curve, maybe go to a ghosted viewport. You can actually see the curve better. Okay, points on. Where are them? Where are they? There are they. So now you can see you can change the curve afterwards. That's pretty nice actually, and it keeps it parametric, so you could move it up or something like this. So maybe take this one, bring it over or something. Just play around with it. You won't see it actually that much, so it doesn't matter if it comes on top. Okay, go back to the viewport to see. Okay, you won't see it actually, but you got the point. And yeah, that's probably it. This is how to do this. Oh, of course, we're going to give the cable the same texture as this black semi-glossy, because just of the sake of seeing it. Yeah, and that's actually it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Um, Stay tuned on our channel, on the channel of 3D Dreaming, for a couple of other tutorials I'm going to post. And if you have any suggestions or if you need help, just put it in the comments. Thanks for watching. It was Alex from 2B3D.